I know that in previous videos I've kind of said that an artist or a writer is only someone who notices normal life and kind of puts it on a canvas, or kind of writes it down, and it's that they're not really doing that much work, as in all they're doing is kind of noticing and putting things together from that. And I think that since all of my revelations and all my discoveries recently about how ideas can come to you and how your thoughts are wordless and how they are formless things, and I can get all deep into that and weird about it, but recently I've been kind of writing again, and it makes me reflect on previous moments in my life where I felt really alive in the sense that I was writing a lot, and my whole day was just thinking about writing and developing ideas, and how effortless it was. And I felt that again. And I remember the exact moment I felt that was the other day when I was having a cup of coffee, and I took one sip of the cup of coffee, and then I felt a few words come together in my head. And as soon as I took that sip, I grabbed a notebook and I just started writing again. Then I made a poem out of it. And that just made me realize how it's not that if you feel like you're not a writer anymore, or if you feel like you're not writing enough, it's not that you're just not creative. It's not even that you have writer's block. It's just that you're not sensitive enough to these experiences. If I was just drinking the coffee like mindlessly and I was doing something else, and I probably would have never made that poem. And I think just being able to know when something hits you, like I think I've developed myself to become very reactive to that rather than just sensitive. But as soon as I get an idea, it's kind of like something rings in my brain and I immediately have to write it down or immediately have to record it, because if I don't, then I'm gonna lose it forever and it's never gonna come back. And that also speaks on the way that experiences happen. And you can argue, if I didn't pick up a pen after having that sip of coffee, maybe I would have written it again the next day when I had another coffee. But you can argue maybe the coffee wouldn't taste the same tomorrow. Tomorrow the coffee might feel different. The temperature of the room is going to be different. You're going to be thinking different things and you're going to have different tasks in the day to look forward to. So if I chose not to write that poem that day and I wrote it tomorrow to the same cup of coffee, it would have been a completely different poem. And I think just thinking about that, it kind of just blows my mind to think that everything that you write and everything that you choose to write and that you choose not to write, they're all different. And if I chose to write the same poem again, it would never be the same, just because of your experiences and how just different everything is. And I say that I'm feeling like a writer again because I'm able to notice these things. It's not that I'm setting up a writing routine, that I'm putting up an alarm and setting a timer to do like writing sprints or writing exercise. That's another thing I can do. But I feel like a writer when I'm noticing things and when it feels effortless. It's when ideas are just it's not that ideas are coming to me. It's that ideas have always been in front of me. But now I have a clearer vision to see those ideas and to express them through art. And I don't know if I think I just want to make this video because I just want to express how I feel. But I remember in a previous video I talked about how art is everywhere and you just have to notice it. And I think the more that I notice that, the more of a writer I feel, the more of an artist I feel. It's not necessarily that I feel more creative or that I feel inventive or innovative. It's just that I feel like I can see it. There's art everywhere and I can see it. And maybe to the reader who's reading my art, the observer who's looking at the art that I make, maybe they haven't seen that before. Or maybe they have and they didn't know it, so that now they relate to my work. And when you're looking at art, you're really just looking at what the artist wanted to express, directly or indirectly if you choose to kind of look at the work that way. But if you just experience a piece of art without trying to analyze it, you're getting very close to exactly what the artist felt while making that artwork. And maybe you like to explain or analyze art, then you're trying to look into the answers of it. But I feel like experiencing art subjectively kind of puts you where the artist is. And you're not even experiencing the form of art. You're not even experiencing the medium that they use. Sometimes when I read a poem and the poem is really good, it doesn't even feel like I'm reading a poem. Or when I'm reading a book it doesn't feel like I'm looking at a page. It feels like I'm just experiencing the story. And when I'm watching a movie, it doesn't feel like I'm looking at a screen. So that's another thing that you can talk about, how good art and transformative art kind of just transcends the medium. When I write a poem and I show you a poem that I want you to read, I don't want you to feel like he wrote this poem on this page and he's using these rhymes and this meter and this form. It's like, no, I want you to experience what I experienced. I'm only writing it through poetry because that's the medium I chose. But it would have been the same if I showed you a song that I made, or whatever, or if I told you exactly how I was feeling. It's just that if you present it through an art form, it's kind of, you can kind of give it the excuse of it being abstract. If I tried to logically explain to you what my feelings were, you'd probably dismiss it, and you might call it weird, like, oh, you're just feeling things. But if I show it to you through a piece of art, it's like, it's permissible, you can kind of understand it. So maybe this whole time I've only just been doing art because I want to express myself. And I think that is true. I think all artists, if they know it or not, all they're doing is kind of expressing what they see and what they think and what they feel. Even if you have this motive, like, I want to write to persuade people, I want to write so that people kind of think certain things about me. It's really deeper than that. It's really just, I'm writing what I feel and what I express and the truth that I believe in. At some points, maybe you're writing for different reasons, but I feel like a writer again because I don't even think about it. It's like when I write, I rarely think about like the words that I use, the the rhyming, the meter, and I think the first draft is always the one that's the most natural in the sense that you're not thinking about everything. And then once I look at the first draft, it's like I look at it again and I change words. That's when I think about rhyme and meter and form and whatever I want to change. But it's in that first draft that's where you feel the magic. And I call it magic because that's really what it feels like. Because you're taking something ordinary and you're just turning it into something else that no one else could have made. And you look at different ways that people interpret art, and it feels amazing to know that they saw it that way, and there's a chance that only they could have seen it that way. And everyone has that innate power just because of how every human is inherently different. And the way that you kind of express art could be a million times more different than the next person. And even if there are similarities, and that's fine. I don't think there's definitely a balance between how different and how similar human beings are just by the nature of our DNA cells and whatever. We may have the same structures in our body, but we're not the same. And so I don't think someone can create art and just blame themselves for it being too similar to something. I mean, writing something in inspiration of something is kind of a different argument. Like, if you're just copying something versus if you're retelling your actual experiences, that's a different topic. But I just, I don't know. I just wanted to talk. I really didn't think of what to say in this video. I just had the title, and that's how most of my videos are. It's like the first thing I think about is the title, and then I just talk about it. And most of my recent videos have ended with me having a short commentary about my channel, but I don't know. I just feel like I want to make these vlog kind of videos. They're not vlogs, but they're just me talking about something, and me not me trying to express a message or teach an idea or give advice or talk about philosophy or something. I just wanted to say that I feel like a writer again, and that might not even matter to you. That's fine. I just wanted to talk about it, you know. And yeah, it's a fleeting thing. I know maybe in a few weeks from now I won't feel like a writer. I'll shift my focus to playing music again or something. Something else is gonna happen. But now I feel like a writer and it feels good. And that's what this video was. And I'll see you in the next one.